I'm going to show you how to do factor label problem solving digitally. I don't really have a preference if you do this digitally, if you have access to a printer and you want to print future worksheets and do them on with pencil and paper, and then just screenshot or take a picture or scan, whatever you have an option to do at home as we work through this online learning. So I'm going to go to question number 3 on this worksheet. So I'm going to go to insert. The easiest way to do this is to insert a table. And I'm going to set a 3x2, which is a basically bridge format, but you can see it goes on, so if you see a problem might be longer, you could choose more. So again, the box around it, if you could subtract that out, that would be just what your bridge would look like. You can do that, but it's really time consuming. You have to select each piece of it and then delete it or change it to white. So that's a lot of formatting to do because you have to do each piece of it. So we're just going to use the outline of the box, and our starting quantity is 200 milliliters. Remember, units are important. As I read my question that wants to know weight, we're actually going to use mass. So I'm going to put an equal sign here at the end, maybe put a couple spaces in. You can space out to the end, but as you type your number in, it will move down the line, so you don't have to put it the whole way out to the end like we do when we're on paper. So as I'm looking at this problem getting from milliliters to grams, density is going to be my conversion factor. So since I have milliliters on the bottom, the milliliter part of this is going to go on the bottom. And with these density relationships, the number part always goes to the grams. So this will be 0.789 grams per milliliter. Okay, so really I'm done at this point. Milliliters and milliliters would cancel. I now have grams. And I'm going to just do what I normally do with a factor label problem. If it's on top, I multiply. If it's on the bottom, I divide. So I am going to list my answer here as 158 grams. It's 3 sig figs because the 0.789 is only 3 sig figs. Okay, and that's pretty much it. All right, going on to question 4, a little bit different setup. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to insert my table, my little 3x2. And this time I have the mass of 1896 and I have the dimensions, which are the length, the width, and the height. And I need to find density. So all of these are measurements, so they're really all part of my starting quantity. So I'm going to do 1896 grams. Okay. And then I'm going to start putting my dimensions in. 5.5 centimeters. Okay, the other one's going to go here. 8.4 centimeters. Sorry, I should have done those in other order. And then if I'm going to find density, I need my equals, and I'm going to have my grams over my centimeters cubed. Okay, and there's a way to cube. If you just highlight and do Control period, it's going to highlight it, format it as a superscript. The other option would be is you highlight it and go up into format, text, and then there's superscript. So you'll see that Control plus period is the keystroke for that if you don't want to have to do that. Now, I still need another set, so I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to insert a column to the right. So that just gives me another option to add another number. So then I'll put 4.6 centimeters here as well. So really I have grams over cubic centimeters at this point. So like any other factor label problem, multiply on the top, divide by the numbers that are on the bottom. So I'm going to do 1896 divided by 5.5 divided by 8.4 divided by 4.6. Okay, and when I calculate that out to 2 sig figs, because my measurements are only to 2, I'm going to get 8.9 grams per cubic centimeters. And again, I can space that out so it looks more like grams over cubic centimeters. And that's really it. Again, if I would need more, I could highlight and then right click and get more rows to put in. but that's really the process. So these borders, if you want to get rid of them, you really have to go up here. I usually just change them to white, and then that drops that part of the border out. But you would really have to click all of these little individual borders, which is a real pain. So I'm not going to make you do that, but there is a way to make it look more like Factor Label if you want to deal with that. But again, as long as we have the stuff down, I don't really care that you do this, but just so maybe this gives you the visual of what the Factor Label setup would look like. But you'll see each little segment I'm copying. Okay, what I just did there is if you press and hold Control, it's going to allow me to select a couple. So, and I'm just changing them to white just to get rid of them. So that's how it looks more like your normal bridge problem, but I don't expect you to do that. Again, option is to type these out, or if you want to download, print the worksheets, do them on paper, and then upload them by taking a picture or by scanning them on your printer and uploading them that way. So we'll get through this, guys. Hope you're all well. Thanks.